Swap and Shop Center in Lawrenceburg is your go-to stop to complete your home, business, a combination of both, or really anything you can think of. This is family-owned and operated business at its best.
Swap and Shop Center in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your evening update.
All right, there's a lot to talk about with a big-time winter storm affecting the area. Over the next 12 to 36 hours, we have our winter storm warning in place for all of the viewing area going into effect during the overnight hours tonight, extending all the way to 6 a.m. Saturday for significant accumulation of snow, sleet, and some freezing rain, causing widespread travel impacts. And those travel impacts start near and before daybreak on our Friday morning, then continuing through Friday and Friday night, even lingering travel issues on into the weekend as well. We'll be watching for that. This will be a widespread heavy snow for not all of the area, but a large part of it. Within the main band area, I'll show you in a moment, 4 to 7 inches of snow accumulation still expected. Isolated heavier totals, certainly possible. In addition, there is the likelihood of a wintry mix in the afternoon hours for some parts of the region, especially over North Alabama, where snow may either mix with or change over to a sleet ice mix in the afternoon, and maybe some trace amounts of ice up in the southern middle Tennessee, although models this afternoon have been backing away from the idea of ice in the Tennessee. We'll be watching that as well as we head into the evening hours tonight to see if any adjustments need to be made. But regardless of whether it's snow, sleet, or freezing rain, widespread travel impacts are likely Friday night, starting before daybreak, going through Friday night to Saturday morning, and then lingering impacts possible on into the weekend with the melting and then refreezing process each day over the weekend, maybe even into Monday or so. Here's a winter storm back to the west in the Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. Heavy snow this afternoon back in the central Arkansas. Now with radar echoes as close as central Mississippi, you would think that this may be moving in earlier than expected. That's not the case. What's happening is we are really dry in the low levels of the atmosphere right now because of high pressure to the north and northeast, causing a wedge of dry, cool air coming in from the east and Georgia into our region. As precipitation moves into the area overnight, the first few hours of it being on radar will just be an evaporation process where it dries out and evaporates before it hits the ground. That evaporation process is a cooling one, and that's what locks in temperatures below freezing in the overnight. Here's a breakdown of the Futurecast. Clouds thickening up across the area as we get into the upper 20s and lower 30s overnight, and then the precipitation moves in on the model near midnight. But keep in mind, for about the first 2 or 3 hours of it moving in, it will be evaporating. Once we get around 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, that's when I think the heavy snow starts reaching the ground, and it's going to accumulate quickly because of all the cold weather we've had the past few days. This is not a warm ground. We've been chilling the ground temperatures. We've been chilling the roadway temperatures, the bridge surfaces, the trees and the power lines, so that when the snow does start reaching the ground before sunrise in the morning, it will start to accumulate quickly, and road conditions will deteriorate rapidly even before sunrise. That continues on through the mid to late morning. Snow probably getting heavier as the heavy snow bands set up across the area. And then as warmer air moves in about 3,000 to 5,000 feet, we start seeing a wintry mix over northern Alabama that may skirt southern middle Tennessee as well. That gives us the sleet and freezing rain mix on into the afternoon. Snow tapering off into the evening, flurries isolated fashion overnight on into the daybreak hours of our Saturday morning. Here's temperatures tomorrow night drop down into the 20s. Now, we haven't made any changes to the snow forecast from what we had at midday, but here are our latest thoughts. Southern middle Tennessee down into the northwestern half of Lauderdale County, coming down to just north of downtown Florence, back into northwest Colbert County and north central Tishomingo County, as little as 4 inches of snow, as much as 7+ in some areas. Now, that doesn't mean 7+ all the way down to Florence, but in the dark blue area, as little as 4, as much as 7+, because there will be some heavier banding in here. The lighter blue here from Limestone County back to the downtown Florence and south through Colbert, Franklin counties to near Moulton, as little as 2 inches of snow, possibly as much as 4 inches. And then the white areas here, mainly from Moulton to Decatur southward, as little as 1 inch of snow, as much as maybe some isolated areas of 3 inches. That's how the snow forecast breaks down. Keep in mind, you don't focus on that upper end number, you focus on the range for each color shaded area. The lighter pink here, as far as north as southern middle Tennessee, some light sleet mixing in the afternoon, maybe a trace of light icing, but I will tell you the afternoon data starting to trend back southward away from Tennessee with the icing. It's starting to focus back into North Alabama again. South of the Tennessee River and maybe up to Athens, there may be some heavier icing in the afternoon, as much as 0.2 of an inch of icing, which may cause some scattered power outages, in addition to some scattered power outages being possible in that heavy snow area. So we'll be watching that carefully. Again, 4 to 7 inches of snow in the main band region. Isolated heavier totals possible. South of the main band, snow, yes. Impactful snow, but not quite as much. Sleet, freezing rain mixing in, especially over North Alabama. Regardless of whether it's snow, sleet, or freezing rain, significant widespread travel issues are likely that may linger, at least spotty conditions, on into the weekend. Winter storm for Friday. Flurries taper off Saturday morning, and then we clear out the weather here from Sunday through next week. It's still going to be chilly, upper 30s to lower 40s for daytime highs, but we get some sunshine back that will help roadway conditions. Overnight lows going into next week between the mid-teens to the lower 20s. There's a look at your latest 7-day forecast. I'll be back tonight live at 9 o'clock with another check of your local weather.